How to do a soil test before building a house in Lagos. If you are planning any construction project here in Lagos, whether it's a small house or a big building, then this video is super important for you. Today we are talking about something called a soil test, also known as geotechnical survey or geotechnical assessment. Many people skip this step because they think it is too expensive or it is not necessary. But let me tell you, doing a soil test can save you a lot of money, it can save you time, and it can save you headaches in the long run. It's like checking the foundation before building a house. You wouldn't just start building on bare sand, right? Good. In case you are seeing my video for the first time, I'm Bisola Wildflower and I help Nigerians at home and abroad to buy land and properties safely in the real estate market. You should subscribe right now to my channel because you might never find me again. I always post useful real estate related content just like this one, and you should do well to like this video right now and watch to the end in order to get the full value. Now let's get started. So what exactly is a soil test? Imagine it like a doctor checking the ground before you build on it. It is a scientific examination of the soil and rocks beneath your construction site, also known as geotechnical assessment. But why is it so important, especially in a place like Lagos? Safety first. The soil test tells you if the ground can actually hold the weight of the building you want to put on it. You don't want your house to sink or crack later on, do you? Secondly, carrying out a soil test will help you save money. Knowing the soil type helps the engineers to design the right foundation. If you guess, you might overspend on a stronger than needed foundation, or worse, you might build a weak one that will fail. Thirdly, doing a soil test will prevent future problems. It helps you to avoid issues like settlements, that is when the building settles unevenly or even collapse, especially during heavy rains or floods, which are very common in Lagos. And number 4, planning and design. A soil test or geotechnical survey gives your architects and engineers crucial information to design a safe and stable structure. What are the types of soil tests common in Lagos, Nigeria? There are different ways to test the soil depending on what you are building. Here are some common ones you will hear about in Lagos. Number 1, the borehole drilling, which is the most common. This is where they drill deep holes into the ground using special equipment. They bring up samples of soil and rock from different depths. It gives a detailed look at the soil layers, groundwater levels, and strength of the ground at various depths. It is very important for any significant building. Number 2 is the cone penetration test, CPT. For this type of soil test, a cone-shaped tool is pushed into the ground to measure the soil's resistance. It gives quick information about soil strength. The core penetration test is good for quickly mapping out soil conditions and sometimes used along with boreholes. The third one is the standard penetration test, SPT. This test is usually done inside the borehole. A heavy hammer drops to drive a sampler into the ground and they count how many blows it takes. It helps determine the density and strength of different soil layers. Okay, so you've decided to get a soil test done. What actually happens? This is step by step how a soil test is done in Lagos. Step 1, you contact a geotechnical engineering firm. Look for reputable companies in Lagos that specialize in soil testing. Ask for recommendations, check their past work and ensure they are certified. Step 2, site visit and proposal. The engineers will visit your site to see the land and to understand your project, that is, what kind of building are you planning to put on the ground and then they will give you a detailed proposal. This proposal will include the types of tests they recommend, how many boreholes, and the cost. Step 3: Mobilization to site. Once you agree to the proposal, the team will bring their drilling rig and equipment to your land. This machine is usually big, so make sure there is access to your site. Step 4: Drilling boreholes and collecting samples. They will drill boreholes to the required depth, for example 15 meters to 30 meters for a typical building. As they drill, they collect soil and rock samples from different depths. These samples are carefully labeled and put into bags or tubes. Step 5: In situ tests. While drilling, they might perform tests directly in the ground, like the SPT, standard penetration test we talked about earlier. They also observe groundwater levels. Step 6: Laboratory testing. The collected samples are taken to a special laboratory. Here, they conduct various tests to find out things like what type of soil it is, whether sand, clay, or silt, how much water the soil can hold, how strong is it, how much it will compress under weight, etc. Step 7: The geotechnical report. After all the site work and lab tests, the engineers will put together a detailed report. This report is like the diagnosis of your land. It will include a description of the soil layers, the groundwater levels, the strength and properties of the soil. Crucially, recommendations for the best type of foundation for your specific building. This is what your structural engineer needs. Now let's talk money. This is often where people get worried. How much does a soil test cost in Lagos? The cost of a soil test in Lagos can vary a lot depending on several factors like the number of boreholes. More boreholes mean higher costs. It also depends on depths of boreholes. Deeper holes cost more. It also depends on the type of project. A bungalow will need less testing than a 10-story building. And number 4, it also depends on location. Some areas might be harder to access, which thereby affects cost. Then number 5, the firm. Different reputable firms might have slightly different pricing. As a rough estimate though, for a standard residential building like a bungalow or a duplex in Lagos, you might expect to pay something like 300,000 naira or 800,000 naira or even 1 million naira for a comprehensive soil test, depending on those factors mentioned earlier. And this is just an estimate. Prices can change, so always get a direct quote from a few firms. Let me give you an important tip. Don't just go for the cheapest option. Make sure the firm is reputable, experienced, and they use proper equipment and methods. A cheap, bad soil test is worse than no soil test at all because it is going to give you a false confidence. Now, who needs a soil test? Anyone planning to build in Lagos needs to do a soil test. Homeowners building a new house or even extending a large one need a soil test. Developers building estates, blocks or flats, commercial properties also need to do a soil test. Government or private contractors for roads, bridges, drainages also need to carry out a soil test. Okay, let's take a look at the bigger picture. What do you do after the soil test? Once you have your geotechnical reports, what next? First, share with your structural engineer. This report is vital for your structural engineer because they will use the recommendations to design the safest and most cost-effective foundation for your building. Second, foundation design. Based on the report, they might recommend a raft foundation, a pile foundation, strip foundation, or another suitable type for your soil. Third, peace of mind. You can now build with confidence knowing that your foundation is designed for the ground it is sitting on. Before you go, what are the common mistakes to avoid while doing a soil test? The first mistake is skipping the test itself. It is the biggest mistake in your construction. Don't risk your investment and safety. Second mistake is using a non-professional. Always use a qualified and experienced geotechnical engineering firm. Third mistake, not sharing the report. Make sure your structural engineer gets the full report and analysis. And fourthly, ignoring recommendations. The report has specific recommendations for a reason. Follow them. So there you have it, a complete guide to soil testing in Lagos. It might seem like an extra step or cost, but truly it is one of the most important investments you will make in your construction project. Doing a soil test before building a house in Lagos ensures safety. It saves money in the long run and it gives you peace of mind. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and comment geotechnical engineering. This will prove to me that you enjoyed it, and that will make me post more building and construction videos just like this one. You should also use the comment section to ask me questions or leave me a contribution, and share this video with anyone planning to build. And don't forget to subscribe as well for more valuable construction tips. Have you done a soil test before? Share your experience in the comment section below. I remain Bisola, and I help Nigerians at home and abroad to invest safely and confidently in the real estate market. Send me a WhatsApp message via the number pinned on the screen for the best land and property offers available in the Nigerian real estate market today. I will see you around. Happy investing!